Hello, everyone. We've made it to the midweek on Going Optimal, and chat has still spoken that Kaladesh is where we are, is the plane we are headed to today. Zendikar keeps it close, but has not won out yet this week. And also close was best of one versus best of three. Best of three has won it out so far. But I think maybe even on the news that best of three has been extended. We were thinking it was going away tomorrow, but it's actually going to be apparently going away a week from tomorrow. I talked about Q health, I think, in one of my earlier opening spiels, and was mentioning that the reason they would be trimming away the best of three queue is that they want to maintain queue health. You know, they want everybody to be pairing and potting quickly so they don't get mad and leave. And so it's a good sign. It actually, the fact that they're extending it. Thank you, Colin, for that sub. 20 months and all in a row. That is awesome. Thank you so much. But the fact that they're extending Kaladesh best of three out for a week is a good sign for the health of the format. And in fact, it probably suggests that it's doing much better than Amonkhet, I imagine, because I bet they set up their timelines and expectations for availability of things based on how the last remastered set did. They said, okay, well, let's look at what the behavior was around Amonkhet Remastered, and then let's map an availability timeline for Kaladesh Remastered that reflects the popularity of that queue. So if they are saying, oh, wait, we're going to keep this queue longer, it probably means this is actually being played more than Amonkhet Remastered. And I'm certainly a poster child of that in terms of desire, if not actual numbers. Like, I kind of tired of Amonkhet Remastered pretty quickly, but this has had stronger legs than the Amonkhet for me. So, strongest legs in the retail Magic industry, though, might just belong to Card Kingdom. They have been around forever, and if you ever give them your business, you'll know why. They're my sponsor. They are purveyors of everything that you could make, everything you could need for your tabletop Magic experience, and they have all the stuff. If they don't have what you're looking for, they are looking to buy it, and you can also do little alerts to get when it shows up. But if you're just looking for a one-stop place to acquire your cards, most of your projects can be completed right at Card Kingdom, and you'll be so happy with the results. It's just nice to get cards in great condition, or at least exactly the condition specified or better, and complete all those Magic projects and have that kitchen table fun as we are trying to survive with our brains intact through this pandemic. And if you are holed up with some loved ones, play some Magic together, and Card Kingdom will help you do that. So thanks for that, Card Kingdom, for your sponsorship, and remember to check them out via my various links in my notes and panels and etc., because that shows you got there from here and helps keep me on the air. Thanks so much for your support, Card Kingdom, and thanks so much to all of you who followed through on that. I review my numbers with Card Kingdom when we sit down every few months, and they're just right there on the screen. So I promise you it matters, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now let's jump in and see what Kaladesh Remastered has for us. I'll hop to draft view and start updating my numbers here. Ready that. Oh, sorry, Jinx. I appreciate you asking. We are waiting on some more tests, honestly. Still trying to figure out what exactly is going on in the gut area. So, had a CT scan a couple days ago, and or maybe yesterday morning, waiting on the results from that, and that'll tell us some details. Let's see what we got here. Peace Walker Colossus is not really a card I want to first pick. It's effectively a white card, and it's a vehicle card, and it's a vehicle build around, but it's not that powerful and limited. Ether Meltdown is fine. This is good 2-mana removal. This is much better than a lot of the enchantment removal we're seeing in blue. But Restoration Gearsmith and Renegade Wheelsmith are interesting, but Gearsmith is super powerful. It's probably the most powerful. I mean, it's a 2-for-1, built-in 2-for-1. It's just 2 colors. We could also start with something, yeah, Chaser is in 1 color. I haven't started with a Chaser, and it's the only good red card here that's solid. Let's take it. I don't know. I just kind of snapped onto that at the last minute, maybe partly from reading Fenor's comment, but I do love that. Like, I feel like I'm just not playing this enough. This is so good. But that was a good pack too, honestly. There wasn't like clean removal to take, but there was a lot of interesting stuff there. You like Invigorated Rampage? I was thinking of Revolution. But yeah, we could also back it up with the Chief of the Foundry. Make those. You don't like the Chief? I wish I could do polls. This is where I just want chat to go ahead and vote, because you can go either way with this. Hat saying Rampage, and it has beaten me many times, but I like the Chief idea. I'm gonna Revolution is solid, but it's 4 mana. It's a little clunky and comes around, and a lot of good red removal. And this is a less replaceable effect. I'm gonna. Oh, you like Whirler Maker? I always thought this was too slow. I never feared this card back in the day. Oh, interesting. We take Chief of the Foundry, and then we get a Weaponsmith. There's a Poisoner that's interesting. Firewalker, a Fire Weaver would be great to get on the wheel. Jinx likes the Puzzle Knot. The only Puzzle Knot... I kind of bagged on all the Puzzle Knots, and someone in YouTube comments pointed out the white one is fine. The white one is fine. The white one does what it's doing for the white deck just fine. This is not unplayable. I'm not saying that, Jinx, but I don't prioritize it. I tend to want to bring it in once I know there's some 1 toughness targets. But I'm going to follow this. You know, we're started down a path here that I would love to follow through on if it's available for us. On that front, we could take something like a Salvager here. A Sky Skiff can work out decently in a deck like this. I don't love this card, but when you're spitting out a bunch of servos, you can do worse than a 2/3 flyer. But I agree with Haj that I want the Salvager because it's good in a deck that can create some fodder, but it's also good specifically in red-black because the Hijack is in the set. We can steal potentially in this color pair, do the steal and sack thing, which is a nice, and it's also strong without that. And if you just land in it a little bit, I hear you, Math. This is not really something we need to prioritize there. It's just kind of where we're at deck-wise. Although we could, with Ether Chaser being the only red card in Tezzeret's Touch, I'm back on to taking this on spec here. We had this yesterday, and I was able to demonstrate some of its power. It depends on what you put it on, but you put it on the right thing, and this is a brutal beating that if you solve, beats you again, you know? So we'll take this, knowing we haven't really seen any... We saw... Sweatworks Brawler is a telling card to still be available here. This is at its best in like your blue-red decks that have a lot more reasons to play 1-mana artifacts that help power this out on turn 3. But we could also take... I don't like Implement all that much. We could take another Salvager... knowing that we're kind of headed in that direction, but I think the Brawler is just like the best card here. Oh, is there another Skiff? Yeah, I can take this Skiff too. I just really don't like this card all that much, but maybe I'm gonna take the Brawler and we'll see. I think Skiffs, I don't mind if I end up with one, but I think this is a great card, and I think Skiff is a playable card. Does that make sense? Servo Schematic is one of those cards that is nice to put the touch on. You play this, you make a 1/1, you turn it into a 5/5, and then it dies, and you create another 1/1, and then you replay the schematic and make another one, right? So that and then you sacrifice it to the Salvager. So this is kind of like, even whether we end up the red side or the blue side here, I think the Salvager alone makes this a nice card for us. Like this makes 3 things For 2 mana, it basically says put 3 +1/+1 counters on target Defiant Salvager, and that's pretty strong. What do we like here, though? I guess a Peafowl or a Trade Winds. They're equivalently under, like, they're this is the right place for either. You know, this is exactly what I kind of want in this range of pick in the draft. I'm going to go with a artifact creature because we have the Chief here over the Trade Winds, and also I'd be more likely to play multiple Peafowls and Trade Winds, but it's all they're very close. And then a Poisoner here, though, is so nice for us to see. There's a Construct as well, but this is, I think, I was talking about being happy to see something like Peafowl at Pack 1, Pick 9. Poisoner, I'm happy to take much earlier. So this is a nice pickup here, I think. Just got to figure out what we're pairing with black. We could even back into white, depending on what shows up. But yeah, Poisoner, in that it shouldn't be there, is a great sign for our black as main color choice. And here's the Hijack we can grab. This is what I was talking about. If we end up red-black, the Salvager Hijack becomes quite real because the Salvager's sacrifice ability requires no mana. That's the key. When you're looking at whether the Steal and Sack strategy is viable in a given format, you got to look at the common sacrifice outlet and the common creature stealer and add up their mana costs and understand that that those mana costs together is what the combo really costs. So when you can do it for 3, that's worth leaning into. I hear you, Math. Fabricate was. I'm going to take the Solvent over any of this other stuff. If we end up really needing early 1-drops, like if we really think of this as a mana elf for our deck, we can take it. And it has the occasional value play of 7ing something. Take a Strangler here. Strangler's not super exciting, but it attacks it. And here's the Salvager. Like whoever was saying like we were taking Salvagers early, totally agree. This is, if you're not doing the thing, Salvager doesn't really make your deck. So Salvager should be our late reward for being in the deck, not something we prioritize early. We just kind of did it in that one spot based on stuff, you know. Now we got to decide, this is really pushing us to make a red or blue type decision. Meltdown is fine removal. You think we can back into SRAM? I did talk about ending up that we could end up in white, but I think we have enough going in red. I guess we don't have. We're not really married to a second color. It's true. We're only really black. Monitor. Rob loves the Monitor. I like the Monitor, Rob, but it's not. I don't think we should be pack oneing it here. I bet we wheel it. Only 12 seconds here, though. I could take another Brawler. Gremlins. Yeah, maybe it's Gremlins or Brawler. I'll take Gremlins. And now we get another touch. Yeah, well, I like the Gremlins pick more. I think we can wheel the other one. I still think, like, Brawler, Gremlins, and Chaser versus 2 touches. I mean, what else are we taking? We could take a Renegade map and a Prism to kind of support the artifact theme, whatever we do. We could take a Trophy Mage on the strength of getting a Chief of the Foundry. But I think if we're taking a blue card, we're taking the touch. I'm going to take touch. If we end up blue, we'll be so happy to have 2 of these. And if we don't, that wasn't a bad spec. Ambition could keep us going in that direction. I mean, it is. I was talking about, like, I mean, you got Hijack, and I was saying that the whole assessment of the combo D is how much mana. And when it's 3 mana, believe me, it's a thing. When it's 3 mana at common, it is a thing. I don't think I want another Peafowl here. We could do this. I don't know if we're doing a lot of +1 action, though. Fanatic helps with some aggro. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Fanatic as just a red 2-drop if we end up there. Like here, now we have a Weldfast Engineer, and maybe we wheel this. There's an Ice Over, but now I feel like we're leaning back towards red-black. Fanatic is quite meh, but it is a 2-drop, right? Look at our curve, right? It's not... this is not good at all, but not having 2-drops is even worse. I'm taking this. We'll see. And right now we just have way more red-black. Here's another hijack that we could try and get on the wheel. Maybe we're supposed to. If people don't, most people just don't want this at all. And I think we should take like the Renegade or the Poisoner. Poisoner is a 2-drop though, and again, we're pretty low on those, and it does do the thing, and it is in the color we're 100% sure of. I like a Smash Rob, but not here. I think we're taking the Poisoner here. Assembler. Yeah. I've had some people do this Assembler thing, and it's been not awful. Yeah, it's not, but I'm not sold on it yet. I'm not sold on Assembler plan. Yeah, I get it. It's just, I hate that. I would rather get those artifact creatures by playing Malthus squads and putting the token off, right? I'm looking at the Trophy Mage here again with the Chief, but I think we're definitely looking closer to red, so. Daring Demolition. Yeah, certainly the Trophy Mage is better than all the black, but if we're not playing blue, then any of the black is better than the Trophy Mage. But the Daring Demolition here is a nice pickup. Fireweaver is a 2-drop and kind of what we're looking for here with what we're trying to accomplish. Like, if I can get more Fireweavers, I'll pull the Fanatics, you know what I mean? Here's that Weldfast Monitor I promised would wheel. I didn't promise it would wheel, but I thought it might, and there it is. But there's also a Pyrohelix. Why do you want the Lookout? Maybe I didn't read it right. That's not me saying, why are you crazy? That's me saying, maybe I didn't read it right. I don't even know what I had picked there, but we'll take it. Oh, Subtle Strike, nice. Pyrohelix. What did I? Oh, I ended up with the Weldfast Monitor. That's still good for us with the Chief. And this is what you like, Rob? You like the Lookout? Why do we like this? Well, I have one. Taking another Salvager, though. Yeah, this is only good for vehicles. And I don't think we're playing this. Yeah, I've kind of goof grabbed a bit in this draft, but that's all right. Now we have Expertise at rare. This keeps following us around. You want to take weak vehicles so we can play a weak Lookout? I don't know. If we get good vehicles, sure, but right now I'm not interested. Chaser or rare? Math says Expertise is sweet. It can be. I think we'll take it. Same reason. We're kind of doing the Salvager thing where we can make Salvagers big enough to survive. It does. It's a bit of a non-bow with our deck, but it is a bit of a combo with the Salvager, and it does do something that no other card in the format really does. So, I hear you. I want that Chaser too, but I'm willing to go for the rare on uniqueness of ability. And then we get an Aetherborn here to help fill out our 2s. I don't know if this is hard to call a 2. Whenever you see a 2-drop that is double color, it is not necessarily a 2. And Make Obsolete is quite good, but I do agree with Jinx. It is very hard to pass this when you're in black. It just might not come down on 2 as often as we'd like. And I wish, it's no Chaser, but the Poisoner is good. We can take it. Here's another Skiff, but again, I don't. Well, here's a Rampage. You could also do this. This is what Hat was saying. This is a game winner, and it has been very good. You know, you give 2 different creatures a total additional 4 power and trampling them. It is quite powerful. But I'm going to keep taking the I'm going to keep taking the 2-drop creatures. Midnight Oil could be good for us because what you want to do is dump your hand, because you're going to get your hand squeezed out by the Midnight Oil. But with Welding Sparks here, we should just take that. This is actually, it's not good in every deck, and this would be good in our deck, but I want just straight up quality instant speed removal more. Here's another Hijack. I'm going to take that. We're going to kind of do we're going to find out, D, because with the second Hijack, and I am expecting to wheel one, I think we're going to have 3 Hijacks, 3 Salvagers. My problem is that we have it puts a lot of double red, double and heavy black pressure on our mana, but I'm still going to do it. Yeah, I don't need to pull the touches now. We'll do that at deck building. Here's a Prism we could take over a 4th Salvager. Prism might give us a window to the touch. I don't think we really have the splash capability, though, but really it's just Prism is an artifact that triggers a bunch of stuff in the deck, and it does help with mana. Even in a 2-color deck where I've called out that Hijack and Gifted Aetherborn are pressuring the mana, Prism does actually a lot for us. We might even wheel I don't know if the Salvager is possible to wheel. I didn't do the counting. So here's another Hijack. Are we really doing it? Let's try to really do it and see what happens. Starts to make things like Demolition less important when Hijack becomes your removal. I'm gonna do it so you don't have to, War Furnace. Maybe this deck wants a Cathartic Reunion if we're going low down Steel and Sack. Maybe it wants Night Market Lookouts even without vehicles. That doesn't seem right, though. I think next one is the possible Hijack. Oh, Obsolete comes back. Wow, there's also Night Market Aeronaut. That is gonna often, there's Implement of Malice, but Make Obsolete is good. We're gonna take that and run it. Some lifelink on that versus some card draw. Card draw might be more important to us than the lifelink. I think I'm gonna take the, although I should do a creature count. My picks are, I feel like my pick clock is at half size today or something. Die Young, we can take and decide. Yeah, I guess it was an Artifact Matters body I could have taken. We're not playing this. And we do get the Salvager. Well, we did not wheel. I thought we were going to get a 4th copy of Hijack, but maybe it's for the best we didn't. Three might be where we want to be. This is fun. We're going to do this thing. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. First, let's check out what we're trying to cut. 2017. Maybe I'll build it this way. So many cards. And we want to do the thing. Let's focus on the thing. We're doing Steel and Sack and Artifacts Matter, right? Basically. So let's start with well, the obvious. Like, we are playing our Ether Poisoners. Yes, we are playing our Gifted Aetherborn. I'm going to even hold off on Subtle Strike, because this is a place where if we're doing the Steel and Sack thing, you got to be really careful about how much traditional removal you play. And we have a couple of good traditional removal spells already. We're definitely doing Artifact. We're definitely doing Make Obsolete. Ether Chasers coming in. Prism we want in this deck. We're playing the gold build around. We have enough going on. We definitely want the Welding Sparks. We're trying all 3. The Hijacks. We gotta trigger artifacts hitting the battlefield. Gremlins rewards that too. And Servo Schematic is good in our deck. And I do like the Brawler. Where does that leave us? Chief. Chief has got to be in. We can cut land, though. This is a tight low-down deck here. Could almost argue for 15 in a deck like this, because you hope the Brawler is a 3-drop. And then you're topping out at 4 on demolitions. Malphus Squad could be a interesting creature, but I don't think I like it over anything else we've got. Oh yeah, Expertise. I did say it is unique. It does something that few other cards in the set do, but maybe we don't need it. Maybe it was a wasted pick, and I'd rather just have the Ether Chaser, because we took this over a second Ether Chaser. Yeah, we could cut a Salvager. You're right that 4 is overkill. I like that. That's a good call. Let's also look at our creature count. Yeah, 14-9 is still solid, especially if we're stealing stuff and making stuff with the schematic. So then, yeah, I like... maybe I just want to justify having taken it first pick, but I do stand by what I said when I did, which is that even though it works against some of what our deck is doing, it is such a unique ability, and if you get it in your opener, you can often just play around it in your own way that allows you to easily win the game. So it can get you out of things that other cards just can't, and it can set you up for some easy wins if you can play early towards it. Well, good. I'm glad I'm consistent. And to be fair, it did do exactly that, right? Like we had some Expertise won us some games that no other card would have, right? But let's try. Let's see for the third time whether I'm right or whether I'm just lying to myself to feel better. Either way, I feel good. Salvager and Hijack. We gotta do a steal and sack joke here. If we had any vehicles, we could call this a carjacking. Lojacked. That's good. Let's call it Lojack. Low curve hijack deck. Anybody redeem Bling? No? All right. If nobody's going to redeem Bling, I'm going to get... Oh, wait. Those are special, I guess. Oh, this is my side account. That's why. I just don't have all the lands I was thinking I would have. But we have some full art, so let's use those. That's pretty good. I like that Radianware with the Salvager, Jumping Jack, Trash. Ooh, is it enough better? I'm going to stick with I think they're equivalent, so I'm going to stick with the one I've already got. But good one. Well, that's the pun. And let's play. Let's get to Battlefield, and let's take a par poll. Just need to add a 2 here for accuracy. Nice. I do wonder if the deck has a projected better win percentage with second Ether Chaser or the rare. I really don't know. Well, how do we sequence this hand? I mean, it starts with what our opponent is going to do. And with the Brawler, I would have started with the Ether Chaser. But with the Brawler, I'm going to start with the Poisoner, because I would trade the Poisoner off for that. Get some energy, trade off the Poisoner. Yeah, they can make it trample and we'll take some damage, but I'm willing to take some damage to trade off for the Brawler. It leaves us with some energy behind that we hope to convert into a couple of tokens still with the Chaser. And now the Weldfast Monitor, we can play the Chaser and threaten to block. We can play Enthusiast. I like Enthusiast ahead of the Foundry here, because we can make a couple of... yeah, Chaser makes them menace, but because they can... like, if Ether Chaser were a solid block threat, I would do it, but given that it's not, I would... like, yeah, we can waste one of our mana to force them to waste one of theirs on the activation. I would rather spend all our mana given the tightness of our hand and the lack of a fourth land in our hand currently. And does it really matter? We're not blocking either way. Like, we play this and then we play the Chief. I'd rather not play the Chief and give them an easy target for their early removal. Although we are going to play it next turn, most likely, so they'll still have their shot to take out the Chief. But if we find land, we might not. I could see going land, Chaser, Schematic, and then coming with the Chief, because the Chaser might eat removal. That's okay, too. We got a Welding Sparks, or we get Salvager and find a Hijack. But we're going to take this. They spent their whole turn on it. We can spend our whole turn on the Sparks if we want to set us back down to level. All right, so there's the Hijack. That makes me want to start that removal plan. So let's play the Salvager instead, and then look to Hijack next turn. I'm going to sack the Enthusiast now, though. It's not doing anything. Gets this big enough to actually threaten the Monitor, make them spend the mana if they want. Uh-oh, they're hovering over it. Yep. Ouch. Now we really need a basic. I don't mind trading off like this, though. One token for the Sculptor is fine. Missed on the land, but we can Schematic and have something to do. Not blocking, so I'm attacking. Probably just have to Sparks the Monitor next turn. But then we should have a couple of servos that threaten the Servant. Or Second Swamp says we could just demolish. Doing that maxes our mana, and then if we draw another land next turn, we can, like, Chaser and Sparks. We can 2-spell still. So I am going to go ahead and use Demolition on the Monitor. And leave our servos back to threaten the Conduit, the Servant.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We're at a low life total, but I like how we're approaching stabilization. All right. With one card left in hand and them having tapped out to do this, I'm going to take this trade. Even though we have a chief right around the corner, I get it. I don't want to go to 3 against... I don't even know what the face damage is in red in the set, if I'm honest. But I do see that we can double block, trade, untap, sparks, and clear the board. And that seems good enough to follow through on, regardless of what the exact specifics of the face damage that red has to offer in the format is. And we did find our other land. We do get the Sparks Chaser play. Now, if we get another land, we even have Hijack Foundry if we want it, although Hijack obviously is supposed to combo. Yeah, Media, it's about, like... That was part of my concern, though, like, do we want to go to 3 against red? It was just being sure about that more than anything. But yeah, we can still hopefully make some servos here for the chief. If we find another salvager where our hijack becomes good again. Right now it's bad. That's the problem with these cards, right? It's really only good, in my opinion, in a Steel and Sack kind of deck. And that's because of exactly this. Like, just because you're a low-to-the-ground aggro deck does not mean it's going to play out every single time with you as the aggressor. So we are here as an aggro deck, being the one on the back foot and being almost dead. There is haste in red. But are we just waiting around to die, or are we going to attack and try and get them dead? I mean, I feel like we're not going to attack 11 times with the Chief of the Foundry and just win the game. But at some point, we got to turn sideways and start whittling their life total. So I'm going to take the risk. Yeah, if we find a Salvager, we get to eat the schematic. That'd be nice. Salvager can become immediately a 4/4. Hey, buddy! Although we probably don't want to make it a 4/4, probably just want a 3/3 and a 2/2. I'm going to go ahead and sack this now. Oh, it's just on my turn, though. Oh, it's sorcery. Yeah, it is sorcery. Now, find yourself a creature. Or don't. Just die is fine, too. Although now maybe I shouldn't be risking it all. I don't know if there's 4 power haste, but it could be incorrect to risk it given that we have the advantage now. But I still think, again, we gotta like push towards getting them dead, right? This is good. We get to add to the Salvager and draw an extra card. Okay, thanks, Jinx. That's good to know. Haste is 3 or less power, says Jinx. The vehicle, they would need 2 cards there, though, right? Let's go ahead and salvage the Prism. And now we can ask ourselves, like, maybe 4, 5, 6. Like, I'm going to leave a servo back because we basically present lethal next turn pretty easily. We've got effectively 2 removal spells in hand. And, yeah, it doesn't change the clock, so... What is it, 6 power? Well, anyway, we'll be a little bit cautious here. Hold back 1 creature. But we got there. Turned the corner, stabilized, and pulled it off. Oppo must have ripped really poorly there. Again, trying to acknowledge when variance is working my way. Pretty easy to just do the same attack every turn until they're dead, but you got to realize that means Oppo is just drawing blank after blank after blank. So... sorry, Oppo. Probably flooded out there, but we'll take that win and try again. Enraged Giant, 4/4 haste. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we had the blocker was good. Two hijacks, not what we want to see without the appropriate, the salvager. But we have Poisoner attacking on 3, making a servo that can cast the brawler. So we are absolutely keeping this. Just need the Poisoner to live to attack. Subtle Strike might say no. Puzzle Knot might say no. All right, we found a 4th land. That's nice. So we at least get to cast Brawler on 4, but Oppo totally disrupted our sweet start. Boo! Boo! We're going to brawl here, though. Not a bad hill giant as far as those things go. You just want to cast it on 3 is the thing. Really want to just find one of our salvagers now and hope that lives, and then we can start hijacking. I don't know what this attack is about. Might be Pyrohelix or something. Might be +3/+3, but we're not blocking. Probably going to go wide to threaten the block, and we'll go ahead and demolish the squad and keep trying to race here. But we need some help. I mean, we could probably we might be able to hijack our way there, but you really want the salvagers for those hijacks. A nice thing now, though, if we draw one, we have it immediately. One-time salvager. Come on. No. No salvager. Tough thing to race an Etherborn. I'm gonna enthusiast for tokens, though. So for the second time in 2 games, we are not the aggressor. We are on the back foot as an aggro deck with 2 4-drops. You know, like, or maybe we added a 3rd. I can't remember, but this is not an expensive deck. This is supposed to be doing what our opponents are doing to us so far. Not casting either of these. We can attack with the Brawler, which we should do if we're not blocking. Oppo has shown that they're quite willing to attack into a 3/3. They've demonstrated some sort of trick available. I'm going to attack because I don't want to block with that. We're not winning this race, but we can't just... But if I'm not going to block, I should still chip away. And I don't feel compelled to block yet, so I'm not gonna. We rip a salvager, this game turns around. But right now, no blocks. Really want a salvager. Boy, do we want a salvager. Salvager, anybody? Salvager? Might have to start blocking here. What are we doing? If we send in the Sweatworks, they might double block it, which I wouldn't mind. I think I send the Sweatworks and hope that they take the offer, honestly. And if they don't, maybe just start chumping here and there. I still either want to offer... Yeah, so this suggests they do have some trick they might use here, but if this... I'll trade for trick or two cards. Or a card and a half. At least if this is on defense, it's less likely to actually do us face damage. Exactly. Well, now I'm probably throwing the enthusiast under some sort of bus here. I think we pile on the Fireweaver. They may have the +X whatever and just wipe us out, but we got to take some chances here to do something. We're not drawing the salvager we need, and it's really hurting. But if we make them use their resources on stopping this, either we get we trade in a unbelievable world. We in Magical Christmas Land. Oh yeah, that's true. Puzzle Knot is on board. Sorry, thank you. Appreciate that reminder. So maybe we do just have to just the chump here, and that's it. Yeah, onboard blowouts would be bad. So let's just take do a chump, and yeah, expertise is great here, right? That would be nice. Well, now we have technically 4 damage. Do we need to steal the Etherborn to get some life back? I'm going to say not yet. I'm going to give it one more chance to find a natural salvager, because then again, the game just turns around with the salvager. The hijacks become hard removal plus damage. The plus damage doesn't even matter that much right now. We are looking to stabilize somehow and win a long game against the life gain from the Etherborn, but we're not out of it yet. I think we're here, though.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Always love to win a game where I've played that meme. Here they come again. We could throw Fireweaver on Fireweaver and try to bounce and just literally take 6 and try to untap into something. I think that's it. I mean, I know we're going to 3. I guess we're going to 3 against red, though. We should chump like the 4-3. Yeah, maybe one chump of the 4-3. Let's do this. I like that, Jinx. I just don't think a big 4-creature gang block is going to work between Hand and Puzzle Knot. So let's see if we can draw out. Maybe not the worst. Let's see. Let's read this. We could steal the Renegade and have it ping a 1/1. That doesn't do much. We could attack first, but they are not going to block. We're not attacking. So I think the question is whether we're stealing the Gifted Etherborn to get a couple life back here, or whether we're okay with the blocks as they sit here. And I don't know if it's worth 3 mana and a card to go to 9 life. We're pretty at a similar risk, so I'm going to risk it again. Boy, if this game has not gone well, I'm ready to just say, didn't work out. We had 2 parts to the combo, never found a third piece, or never found the other piece, and accept the outcome here. We still have expertise outs, so we're going to chump if we can avoid dying. So like throwing this Fireweaver on the Inspector is a no-brainer here. And can we one-time this? Can we one-time this? One-time expertise. After all that talk about how it's the card that I include, even though it's a non-bow with my deck, because it just does something no other card does. Like, get us out of this! Like, get us out of this! Ugh. Point is, at least we could call a scenario where that's why I run that card, right? It doesn't work for us at all times, but it's so powerful to have in a spot like this. Good game, Oppo. Kind of makes me want to go put the other Salvager in, but then I know I'll just get Salvager Flood and have a bunch of Salvagers that are all 2/2s because I don't have enough to sack. Yeah, I'm not going to be results-oriented there. We have a 4th Salvager, and we're running 3 Hijacks and 3 Salvagers. And you could argue the Salvagers are more important to have more of. Like, maybe we could cut a Hijack. What do you think? You could go 4 Salvager, 3 Hijack, or just cut a Hijack and bring in even something like the Squad or a Die Young or Subtle Strike, something more directly removal. All right, well, let's start by going all in. Let's go all in for one round here and put it all in there. 3, 4. Oh, there you go. Where are you? And then cut. We could cut the expertise, but again, that showed you why I don't want to. Cut the make obsolete. Oh yeah, monitor's pretty good, all things considered. But what do we cut? You'd rather have it over the gremlins? Maybe if we're doing the thing, we cut the obsolete. We just are doing different. Our removal angle is so Hijack Defiant Salvager based. Call for the monitor over what? I do think it's good. Maybe is it just better than the gremlins? Yeah, Gremlins plus stuff is, yeah, Gremlins feels like it belongs. I don't want to cut it 2. Maybe you could argue the servo schematic is just okay. It is kind of a +3/+3 salvager, but no, it does more than that. We've got a chief. You can take out the brawler. I'm going to recut the monitor. Yeah, Double D's wants to go to 15. You could make a case for it, but that's pretty... I kind of don't want to go to 15. Even though we're low, you still don't want to have nothing, and you still want to be able to 2-spell at some point. Gremlin was called, but I do like Gremlin better than Monitor, I think. So I'm going to recut the Monitor, and you can ask yourself what you would cut. Maybe that's the Salvager number 4, right? But well, we're very specifically trying the 4-3 split here. So let's cut the Monitor now, knowing that what we're trying next game is going all in on Steal and Sack. And maybe we can come back and mess with it after that. Try a different take. Little differences. I think you're underrating the power of this effect, War Furnace. We haven't really made it sing yet, unfortunately, but at 3 mana, it's a pretty good effect. I don't like it when you got 5 or 6 mana to make it all happen, but this is good. We're far away from that, but we have the early action, and 1 red gets us a spark. lack of red is a drag. But I'm going to go with Salvager and Chief next turn. You want Repoisoner? I'm going to max mana. All right, deck, give us a Prism or a Mountain, or even better, a Prism into Mountain. Prism into Mountain, play Poisoner sounds like a great turn next turn. Yikes! Well, now we could repoison to get another servo while the getting's good. If we get our hijacks, though, we can have some fun with those. Yeah, we have the hijackers, but lack the color. But yeah, let's go Poisoner for another token here. And cross our fingers for some red. Okay, we got a start. And gonna go ahead and spark the Stomper here. They're gonna, of course, crew some vehicle, and maybe we send the Poisoners, but still gotta kill this thing. Yeah, so if they block the Poisoners, they don't get their cards. So I am going to send one Poisoner for the free damage, basically, and then have one Poisoner back to threaten blocks. All right, we already got some value out of that, so I don't mind that trade. Good thing we have a backup Salvager because we're running all four. In this case, I like Chaser, make another Servo, and then Foundry next turn. You like the Chief. I'm going ahead and getting one more Servo going, and then Chief it up next turn. Wrong type of land, deck. Didn't appreciate that, but... Quite a car collection Oppo has. Oh, come on, deck. Come on. Come on with that. So annoying. But we'll send the Poisoner again. Yeah, Oppo's been a bit unlucky too, but doesn't mean I can't complain. Oh, I meant to play the Salvager, but it's actually okay if we draw a another Mountain. We can still do it all. I get a Fire Weaver instead. I'll play both of these. I'm going to send the Poisoner again, though, before I do, and this time I'm going to remember. Watch me remember. It's going to be so cool when I remember to play this Salvager. I'm just going to, like, play it. It's going to be like, look at me, play it. It might even be worth holding it, though. Like, with 2 hijacks, we might just want to hold this till we get a mountain and then get our hijack for sure. But at 10 life, with them struggling to find creatures, I think we need to keep deploying to the board. Especially since we know they're kind of top-decking on that kind of removal for this anyway. But I wanted to hijack your stuff! Stupid Oppo scooping before I get to combo off. Combo does not work at turn 5. Combo can work at turn 4, for what it's worth. And if your combo is working at turn 5, it's because you already have a... Wait, are you talking to me? Like... I don't know what... Spadus, I don't agree with you. Our early creatures are good, and our combo works on 4. I'm not sure what you mean. But let us prove it. I don't think you really want to do the... like, you want to be casting your hijacks on, like, turn 6. Hijacking their thing, stealing something, and killing it, and then still deploying a 2-drop or a 3-drop. All right, this is looking all right. Pretty sneapish. Yeah, great to have this hand on the play, especially. If Oppo doesn't come up with a play, all right, they're dying young there. People keep killing our early poisoner, our early ether creature, but we have enough of them in the deck that we'll make use of that ether eventually. And here we're going to go wide. Now we'll draw our Fire Weaver or whatever, just to be annoying. Speaking of annoying, Salvager, interesting. I'm gonna play the Salvager and sack the Enthusiast, which really does basically nothing for us. You want to eat everything? I don't think I want to eat everything. We put all of our eggs in the Salvager basket there. For, I mean, what do we get out of it? We could eat one more and get out of die young range. But we do have a Welding Sparks that cares, and we do have Chief that wants 1/1 artifacts. So I'm going to just stand pat here. If they take out our Salvager, so be it. Well, well, well. We get to do it, finally. Let's take their Yahenni. Yeah, I had to check, because the thing with self-sacrificing creatures is you can't steal them, but it's another creature, so they can't sack the Yahenni. Yeah! Take that, War Furnace. It's not just a gimmick. It is actually good if you have the density. It's a little gimmicky, though. I do like to call out that it's still like a 2-for-2 in those spots, right? You know. Or not a 2-for-2. I was thinking of the fling thing where you can throw it at face, but it's still a 1-for-1 is what I mean. It's not like it's some magical 2-for-1, but it is 1-for-1 plus damage plus clearing the way for aggro. Yeah, it's really interesting, right? I mean, do you think they would have scooped it up if we had just used the damage-based removal on it? It really feels like they were just dejected into scooping, and somehow psychologically I don't think they would have if we hadn't presented the hijack specifically. Prophetic Prism coming through here. We're going to keep it and maybe even get a brawler out on 3 or something else. Let's see what happens. But we have a nice 2-3 plus anyway. Oh, now we're going to see if we draw a mountain. Would love a mountain. Because then we can go just 2, 3, 4. I still might have gone Prism if I really felt like getting Brawler out on 3 was essential, but it's going to be more essential to threaten the Chaser with a 2-3 lifelink. Natural mountain off the top, though, would be nice, so we don't have to bother with the Prism for the meantime. Or almost any land that at least lets me cast the Chaser after is reasonable. So they did it. They're attacking. I'm not gonna block. Yeah, see, this card is too good to block with here. Because whatever, they hit us for 2, we crack back for lifelink. It's not gonna matter. All right, they're going there with that. That leaves us with at least a clean attack with our Etherborn. We are going to do that. And then Chief or Prism? I think I go Chief. Because Prism doesn't... If we draw a land or whatever, we don't get to play it this turn. So I'm going to go Chief, and we'll see about... We'll Prism next turn if we have to. They're putting a lot on the Chaser. I hope we get to finish it off here. Oh, close. Let's see what the Prism brings. Come on, one time. Mountain us up, please. I mean, I know we don't need a mountain because we have the Prism now, but being able to cast the Hijack would be nice. If I don't attack with it... It's either or. Like, if I leave this back, they leave these 2 back, and I take the 4. Or I attack, gain 2, and take 6. So it's the same amount of damage either way. I'm just going to send. But we're having our own little variance issue here. But we're basically here.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We can recover from this with land. I don't think we're fine when we're up against this much pressure and need land. Like, we're basically dead if we didn't find this land right there. But we did. Sorry, I assumed I was going to demolish, but maybe I'm supposed to welding sparks. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I was not seeing the welding sparks out. You're right, Haj. It was premature to mostly dead because I did have an answer to the Chaser that I wasn't speaking to. I'm going to go with demolish. I'm going to go with demolition though, because if we draw a mountain, we can 2 spell next turn, and that has value to me. And in this format, really, Welding Sparks with our deck is going to get anything we want to get. Welding Sparks is also an instant, which could come in handy. But we are at hold back on D and be prepared to trade Etherborn for Wild Wanderer here. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to. We could take 3. The fact they didn't attack with anything else suggests that they are out of tricks. What does that mean about what the trick was before? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to accept the offer. Rob says take 3. With our hand, I'm fine with this trade, I think. I just don't want to get too low in this situation. They go Tusker and everything gets huge. Ugh. I'm going to block. All right, well, we found their trick, so that's good to know. And we get a 2 spell here, and this is okay. We get a Poisoner that can threaten to Death Touch block. And we get an Ether Chaser that First Strike blocks. So this is actually a nice team of blockers here for us. Yeah, but we have a hand that holds off everything else, Rob. I don't want to go to low life here. We got to just start trading resources and hope that our hand pulls ahead. That, not good. Salvager mocking us. Now we need to... is it GG? We have... It's not GG. But now it's certainly this. I think you would agree.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
It's GG, but we have an out, right? And when you have outs, it's only mostly. If you can come up with a game plan, it's only mostly. And to that end, we're going to leave... I'm going to use the Welding Sparks on the Wild Wanderer right now. I guess I could wait until they're... this is the technically correct play. Welding Sparks, the 3 power on upkeep. Although, frankly, if they have anything to interact with that, we're dead. So the playing around that was pretty meaningless for us, but in general, that's when you want to fire off those must-kill instant speed removal spells when your opponent has open mana. May as well use them... yeah. May as well make them use it on their turn. We could still be dead here, but if we go to 4 and we draw our expertise... I tried to one-time it before... First, they got to play something without 4 toughness. I was going to say, see, now it doesn't matter. Well, unlucky. We kept a somewhat risky hand, but then we got some very unlucky draws from there, and that happens. Oh, I'm bummed we're 3-2. I think this deck is great. It's it can feel a little gimmicky, but I do think this is a strong deck. I think it's got powerful cards that are cheap, and I think if we get the play and a reasonable hand, we should be advantaged. So I really want to... I'd love to get to 4 wins, or ideally I want to get to 5 wins and profit. I think this is a profit deck. Let's get profit. Let's chase it. All right, we're going to keep this. If we don't draw a land, I might Prism on 2 to give us the best chance of finding a 3rd land. If we find a 3rd land, I'll play Schematic. Ooh, Poisoner says maybe neither. No, this deck doesn't need more lands. That's just... It just happened. I mean, I don't know if you're serious or not, Pad, but just because we got mana screwed doesn't mean that we go change the lands. The lands were built correctly. I'm with East. I think we just want to get, well, maybe not. Here's the thing. We do have... I'm going to play Poisoner and take a little bit of a chance. Because I want to be able to attack with Poisoner and get that servo if possible. If we find a land, we'll be fine. If not, we can still do these 2 plays and be okay. Boy, we have not kept a turn 2 creature yet, I feel like. Wow. All right, now we'll go for Prism, find a land. Right, deck? There we go. We get Brawler tapping the Prism if need be, or... Yeah, I'm going to go Brawler tapping Prism, or we can go Gremlins ahead of Servo Madness. If we go Gremlins and then we go Servo Poisoner off land, that would be cool too. So maybe let's go Gremlins and see if we can't... If the Gremlin lives, we could have a pretty explosive turn next turn. Oh, that's true. We can go Servo Brawler and get both of those. We'll do that next turn probably. I like that. We got land, so now we can figure out what we want. We can still do that potentially. Right? I mean, I think we still do start here. And then we can brawl after combat. We're not going to make any more artifact creatures this turn. Truly impeccable. But we'll keep piling on. I still like where we're at. I mean, they had to do it, and we had to make them have it. We're just going to play it out. Of course. All right, Salvager Flood was one of our risks, and it's happening a little bit here, but I still like a Salvager, and I hate my new mouse pad. My new mouse pad that I got to be more ergonomic is... Oh, maybe it's because... Hey, look. Wait. I think I'm going to like my new mouse pad better when I take off this... Take off this thing was making my mouse pad slide around. Oh my god, that's so much better. I was going to return this thing. Do we want to keep going and sack the prism? I guess we might... Nah, we don't need to now. I probably shouldn't even done that now, unless we're trying to get out of range of something like Die Young. We've got replacement salvagers. This is fine. All right, are any of you out there, or do you know anybody, are the types that keep that film? Who do you know that keeps that film on their electronics? You know somebody who just, like, keeps that on for some reason. Oh my, that drives me nuts. I will take it off. If I come into your house and find that, I will take that off. This can't crew, attack, or block, but we can sack it to itself when we play the other hijack. Right now, though, we're going to send away with these. And go Salvager again. Now I'm mad because my mouse pad is not in the right spot and won't move easily. Never happy when you're an old man. I could, like, sack this to the Salvager, but we have another one. If they want to kill this Salvager, we'll be happy we didn't put a counter on it yet. Hey, I've got an idea of what to do about this Fen Hauler. Anybody else have an idea what we might do about a Fen Hauler? I don't know. They have an implement that could take away our other Salvager, but if they want to spend their turn on that, we're probably in decent shape. All right, I think they made a mistake by not... Oh, they still can. All right, they're doing it. I was like, why aren't they getting our hand? And now they did. We're still looking good, though. Yeah, we're a good deck against mono removal because we play a bunch of stuff that you don't want to spend removal on. So unless they have a devastate, like the make obsolete would be devastating. Not enough unless you gain some life. So we get to swing in and win. Yeah, you could say hold against Fumigate, but looks like good thing we didn't hold against Fumigate, right? All right, that's kind of what I expected our deck to do a little more reliably. One win from Profit. Actually, Fumigate makes me a liar too. I was saying my expertise, the black rare was the quote only sweeper, but it's not. There's the Fumigate. Oh, deck. Oh, deck. I'm gonna mulligan this. Between no 2-drop and no mountain, I just don't like this. We're gonna find something better. And it doesn't maybe even seem like it, but I think it is. This is better. I'm going to keep, and we got to decide how greedy to be. I might ship a swamp, given the prism drawing us a card. And yeah, we're going to keep the expertise and try and make that happen. I think we're going to be greedy, right? Because this is an incredible post-expertise game plan. We could just ditch the prism, but this gets us red. I'm going to be greedy.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Bring it. Bring your nevers. Bring your nevers. I'll take infrequently. Can't play the chief really, so we are gonna go ahead and telegraph a little bit. I'm willing to take like a 2-for-1 here if they come up with anything good on the follow. One more? One more? All right, how greedy do we be? It becomes a little obvious here, I think. That's my worry. But what do you think? What do you think? Greed again? Well, we're going to play a land, yes. I was thinking of playing a land. Eagle wants to fire it off. All right. We established I'm never punished. But they're not being dumb about it. So we can do this now. And now we gotta. So they're either playing around it or didn't have it or are gonna punish us by saving. But it's hard to save those 1 toughnesses. And then we're going to cast ourselves an enthusiast. Yeah, see, I think they were correctly and carefully playing around it, so good job, Bomber, for not falling for our shenanigans. Well, we didn't have it. Did we have it? If so, I had it anyway, because we had the prism, so maybe I just failed. Oh, yeah, you would use prism at... No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I just let auto tapper get me there. But we can do everything now, right? So we go Etherborn, Chief, and Brawler. Yeah, we did have it last turn. I just missed it. You're right. But not affecting too much here. I'm not even sure we would have attacked this turn. Yeah, I let it tap the 2/2s when we'd be willing to block with them, but we have other stuff we're willing to block with. So we put Brawler on Pia, trade there. We can put... I don't even know if we need to chump yet. I guess with the Eagle, we got to watch our life total. Yeah, I guess we can just do that instead. Trade this one so that it survives pump. That's a good call. And we don't really... So then the question is, do we want to prevent some damage here? I do think with the Thopter and the Eagle presenting 4 damage in the air per turn, we should prevent some basic, just do some chumping too. So I'm going to do this. Poisoner. And we have a good attack with the Brawler. We don't have good attacks. We technically have a good attack with the Chief. If we're... No, we don't. We only have a good attack with the Brawler. I'm going to take it. They're never blocking with the Dawn Feather, which is why I was thinking technically we had a good attack with the Chief, but I don't want to risk it anyway. It's too important for that ongoing game plan. We're going to send in there. Trying to get one more win out of this deck. Make it to pure profit, but looking grim. Eagle into Eagle is looking grim, but you know what would get us out of this, gang. The thing we already spent. Oppo played around it really well, and I just got to tip the cap on that. That's not going to work, Ryan, but we do need to... We can do this. This will work, ostensibly. Oh, wrong card. And just like that, it's over. Well, I think we got hit by some variants here and there, and things didn't go as well as they could have in some of our games, but we did get to see what this deck is trying to do. Got to see the strategy in action, and see that it can be very good. But we're a low-down deck, and we flooded out pretty hard. There was some call to go to 15, but as you saw, we were also asking for a lot of our mana in terms of color requirements. We had double black on 2. We had double red on 3. Not that we were going to cast the hijacks on 3, but the point is we had while the deck, if all of these were colorless cards, I would play 15 land in this deck. But I don't think you want to go to 7 mountains when you're trying to cast 2-drop red stuff and hijacks and everything. So I had a little more hope for this. I guess I would have given it a par 4, though. I can't complain too much. You can't just 5+ win every draft you do, even if you're reasonably competent at this game. That was weird. Did I hit the wrong thing? I was trying to claim my prizes. Did it just claim them and eject me? That was weird. Anyway, Gonna say thanks to YouTube friends for seeing it through. Give me a like if you haven't yet. Can always help me with the algorithm. And be sure to check in on my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, whenever you need stuff for your tabletop game, won't ya? All right. Bye, YouTube. Thanks.